Namaste everyone. Today we have with us uh, Captain Ganesh Karnik sir, uh, a veteran of Indian Army, former member of Karnataka Legislative Assembly, and currently an active member of Ramakrishna Mission. Uh, Now, through this talk, we would like to explore different aspects of Ganesh sir's life and perhaps bring out some understanding of the current state of politics, current state of working of institutions, educational institutions, political institutions, spiritual institutions like Ramakrishna Mission. So, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, sir, let's start from here. You have played all these various roles in your life. What do you find the most fulfilling? The role of a soldier, the role of a volunteer, the role of an advisor to educational institutes, or the role of a politician?
Well, I haven't stopped playing as yet. When you say played, it means the innings is over. Well, I always believe in one saying: life is a beautiful journey. It takes you to beautiful destinations, and you need to have a very positive frame of mind. And all along, I think all these, I would say, different destinations I have come across, they all have been very nice, beautiful learning situations. Every situation that you come across in life is a learning situation, and we all learn from our, exposures. Your question is a elaborate question. It's not easy to answer. I don't think I have planned my journey in such a way that I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this at certain stages, and at the end of the day, I would have reached this level. I've not done it. Came from a very small village, low middle class background. Parents no much education except 6th standard and 4th standard. Family of 10 children. It was a challenge basically. So there was a they say fire in the belly. There was a hunger. In the sense we had to do well, and parents were very supportive, and they very positively motivating us to do well in life. And ordinary Kannada medium local government schools gave us that social exposure of being with everybody. So I think whatever today I am, like you said, many different dimensions where I'm involved. I think I was deeply rooted. It's not only me; my entire family, all my brothers have done reasonably well. If I joined army and came out as a captain, my elder brother retired from Air Force as an Air Vice Marshal with a similar background, much elder to me, in fact. So, life is a beautiful journey, and our parents exposed us to the better things in life which you can achieve by hard work. And then, army was an accidental entry, and getting into educational again was an accidental entry. Getting into politics again was an accident. Somebody pushed me, and I was looking behind who that was pushing me into politics. And I don't think I'm an advisor to many education institutions, but I do get involved in that. Ramakrishna Mission's exposure was something which opened my eyes when I was in the 11th, 12th standard. Again, it was my principal, whose son was my classmate from first standard to 11th standard. So I knew principal from very close proximity from my young days. We were neighbors actually. So when I was in the 11th standard, there was a first of its kind actually from the Mangalore Ramakrishna Mutt. It was a 3-day moral and spiritual camp, exposing students to the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramhams and Swami Vivekanand. So that was the first time I wore a dhoti and participated in a spiritual kind of a retreat. So all these activities have left some impressions in the mind, no? And maybe deep within, I don't know how to define it. There was always a kind of an urge to know simple answers to simple questions like who am I, where I have come from, and what is death, where will you go after death, and as long as you are here, what is the purpose? what is that you are supposed to do? Those things in that camp, I think, further consolidated my, inquisitiveness from this perspective. In army, of course, there was no possibility of getting into Ramakrishna Mission activities. So once I came back to Mangalore and got settled here, there was a nice outing, in the sense 9 to 5, and then what do? This is the television was never an attraction for me, so I used to get involved in all these activities. And this is a journey, and like I said, I have not stopped playing and still continue to expose myself to newer things. And
yes, sir. So we hope to see you play more
yes,
as much.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Yeah, sir. So, but yeah, there is a lot for us to take there. But one aspect of it is, as you were also trying to point out, is that all of this is coming from the kind of conditioning, early conditioning that you have been exposed to during your childhood by your parents, and the kind of background that you come from, simple, middle class background. So I was help me understand your childhood a bit more. Specifically, how were you as a student? Academically brilliant, someone who was too active in extracurricular, a sports guy, or a mixture of one or more of these?
Sports guy was the last thing you mentioned. So I was loving, getting involved in all kinds of sports activities, but I was never good at any of the particular sports. So, but I enjoyed playing with everybody and all that. Again, these are very difficult questions, asking me to go back into, my young days. Again, see, when you are a family of 10 children, you have no issues finding company with others, even to fight, have issues at home, sort out differences among yourselves. And when you have 10 children at home, parents also do not have time to sort out, that theek hai, kuch chal raha hai, to bas let them sort it out among themselves. It was a good beginning, in fact. And then after 5th or at certain level, we had to shift to a neighboring town, where my father hired a small kind of a house on rental, and then we had to manage ourselves, cook for yourself, wash your clothes yourself, manage your studies yourself. There was no fatherly kind of supervision. I think that made all of us become very self-reliant and self-dependent, kind of grooming. There was no parental supervision of the kind that you see today, where marks has become a very most important aspect of your education. And there was some discipline at home. Father was a strict disciplinarian, so that really helped us. And like, for example, I have 3 elder brothers, 3 elder sisters, and 3 younger brothers. So all of us were groomed to take care of the younger ones and listen to the elders. So my sisters and brothers who were elder to me, they were monitoring me or supervising me. I used to do the same thing with my 3 younger brothers. So it was a very nice exposure. Yes, I was good in studies, in the sense, never a topper kind of a thing. It was not an issue those days. And good in studies means those days 60, 65 is supposed to be very good. Not 99. Even in language you get 100 marks these days.
Correct.
So it was not that kind of thing. But I think since I'm part of educational institutions, there were a different crop of teachers those days. They were more parental. Now looking back, you are not taught rocket science in your primary, middle school, high school, basics. But what was most important was that motherly kind of a care they used to take care, and they came from the same community. They were not strangers, and for all of them, we were all their children like kind of attitude, and that sense of belonging and their involvement and taking care of each one of us in the class as their own child. So I think that gave a different kind of grooming altogether.
Right.
And the other thing was, in the class, I think these bright students, brilliant students, and it's a common kind of a mix, no? If you go and study any histograph, In any class, there are 15, 20, 30% students who are brilliant and all kinds of things. And then another, say, other end of the spectrum, 15, 20, 30%, they had academic difficulties, lack of motivation and all. You may see in your class also. Then the middle spectrum. And they were managing it very well. A child who had academic difficulty was not looked down, neither by the teacher nor by the society around.
Right.
Unfortunately, that has been one of the major reasons why there is a lot of stress among young children today. That is how our educational activity started, and in my school premises, after last period of this school used to be the games period.
Right.
And whole school, everybody from first standard to seventh standard, everybody used to come and play together. It is not one class, one game period, and children go with the sports teacher and come back to their class. No, last period is a game period for everybody. Somebody will be running around, somebody will play kabaddi, somebody will play cricket, there will be kho-kho, all kinds of games. You could select, you could go and join any team and play. Right kind of mix, no? So there was no segregation.
Any game which you used to play then and
Kho-kho.
Now you don't find?
No, kho-kho. Kho-kho was my favorite game.
Right.
But at my age, possibly I can't play now. But that was really
those games which these days people don't play, but you used to find back then.
No, we used to have smaller games. I don't know, you all know. Lagori in Karnataka, they know. With hardly anything you could play, just a ball and some level pieces of stone, you could play.
Oh, okay.
Then you can play with kabaddi, a simple court. You don't require anything.
Right.
No gadget required. Cricket is one used tin box also is fine as a wicket, and anything you can play around.
Right.
Very little things. The joy was the same. Whether you go with the 1,000 rupee costume and all gadgets and everything, or you play around with nothing, the joy, enjoyment was the same. Life was much simple. It was not put on kind of thing. So this is how my early days happened, and up to college it was the same. And the best part was, everybody from all strata of society, a principal's son, a bank manager's son, a professor's son, somebody from a lower strata, they all came to the same school. At least in the town where I went to school, there was no English medium school, and only government schools were there.
Right.
So I think that was a very nice social mooring in the initial years of our upbringing. So everybody had, you will be laughing at me if I say that all of us were given 2 shorts and 2 shirts for the entire year. And nobody came to school wearing chappal, including some of our teachers. So that was the kind of schooling we all had. And everybody was equal. Today it is not the case. So I think that was the best kind of a beginning we all had.
I want to take this up also later, sir, because now you are involved in policy making as well.
Yes.
But okay, let's
We'll
keep that for our further talk. But after this, you had this aspect of joining army, right?
No, that was after my college.
College, right? Yeah. I wanted you to touch that aspect also. So,
Okay.
were you active, politically active in your college? Were you, and if so, has that activism evolved over time?
I was active.
Sorry, sir. Can you introduce the college for the lay audience?
Okay.
Yeah.
College, I'll come back to you. Since you asked me politically active, I was active, but I was not political those days.
Acha.
In fact, when I was in the 7th standard,
Right.
I won we used to call it as school pupil leader or something like
Right,
that. SPL, yeah, SPL, yes. I won that election, hands down. Pakka election. So, if you call it as a political orientation, possibly yes. And I used to be the person who used to sing prayer every day in the school. There was no mass prayer as such. I used to do that. I used to take a school report. I still remember going around the town where we were collecting money for, adding another classroom to the school building. Maybe I was socially hyperactive from my younger days also. Again, when I went to high school, it was a different school, 8th, 9th, 10th. Then again, I was in modern day language, school choir, but a group of students who used to sing. I used to do a little bit of singing those days. So then I was the cultural secretary of the school. We did not have an election in that school. It's a privately managed school those days. So aided school, like government aided school. So I went to 11th and 12th in the neighborhood college in Karkala. Again, I was in the cultural committee. In the degree college, where I can quote this. I got good marks, 74% in my 12th standard. It was good. But like all of you, maths and physics was not my cup of tea. I never liked it. And in my family, nobody had got into engineering. So everybody was keen either I should get into medicine or engineering. Medicine was beyond me because there were only 4 medical colleges, totally 300, 250, 300 seats in the entire state. My marks wouldn't have supported me. I would have loved to do medicine. Engineering, I got seat in MIT, Manipal. There was only private college here. And there were no government colleges in Karnataka. There was no government engineering college till 2009.
Okay.
There were 7 aided colleges. The rest were all private colleges. And this was the only private college in this vicinity. I got a seat. In those days, 5,000 was the donation. My father couldn't have afforded, but my friend said he joined and he did his engineering from there. I principal son and another couple of friends. They said, we don't mind, I will pay you. I was not keen at all. So I went to Udupi and took admission in a college, private college, to do my BBA.
Okay.
Because somebody told me there is no maths and physics in BBA. And there were only 3 students that year. And fortunately, I had applied for agriculture. Even that day I had said, in agriculture, there is absolutely no physics and mathematics.
Okay.
So only 3 students, they sent a letter saying that, sorry, this year we're not going to start this. So I was keeping my fingers crossed. There was only 2 colleges with 200 seats for BSc Agriculture and purely on merit. It was only government colleges, only on merit. Fortunately, I got a seat. And happily, I went and joined Agriculture College. That was a turning point.
Okay.
It was one university those days.
Right.
University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. They had one agriculture college in Bangalore and one in Dharwad. I joined in Agriculture College, Bangalore, because the coastal part of Karnataka, people went to Bangalore Agriculture College. That was catering for the northern part of Karnataka students. After about 10-15 days in the campus, I realized this is not the place where I would like to continue my studies. Bangalore, those days also very forward-looking, cosmopolitan from your perspective, but I didn't like it. So I took a transfer to Dharwad. Again, completely rural, North Karnataka-based kind of a college, wonderful college. And that gave me a new look for everything. It's Agriculture College, Dharwad. In fact, just about 15 days ago, we had the, what is it called? 75th year, Amrit Mahotsav. So I was one of those so-called alumnus who have done reasonably well. So we were all on the stage. Entire day was for the alumni meet.
Right.
That is where in 11th and 12th I was an NCC cadet, and in college also I had joined NCC. And then we had one tradition, the seniors always identified, if I use the word good student, you may say I'm boasting, but they identified people who had something in them, and they used to take us to evening for games, then go change, come back to library. At least from 7 o'clock to 9:30, every day we had to go and sit with them in the library. You read your subject, you read anything else, you read newspaper, you take a storybook and read, but you had to sit and do something there. So first year was fun. We did not bother much about reading in this thing. Second year, we started following their footsteps, and some of them started guiding us how to prepare for different exams and things like that. That's how the grooming used to take place. The tradition even now it continues. We had a debate club, and there interested students only like this. Some 50, 100 people will come. They will debate, which will develop self-confidence, general knowledge, and things like that. So when I came to 3rd year, it was a 4-year course. I started preparing for UPSC, prepared for CDS and other competitive exams, state exams and all that. I wrote my Combined Defense Service exam, I wrote my UPSC, I wrote Capt exam, cleared all the three, but this came very fast, defense, and I had seen my brother with this uniform and some pictures of training and all that. And NCC also had exposed me to what is army, maybe from a distant vision. So uniform, and among those who applied in Karnataka, only 3-4 of us got through the interview. So we were all very thrilled, like, at 18, 19, 20, when you are about to get your degree, what bothers you most is your job. To be the first in the batch to get a central government job, the class 1 gets a officer post. So you got thrilled at a uniform. That's how I joined armed forces.
That must have been such a delight for
yes.
Parents, family, everyone.
Parents, father had no issues. My mother said, already one son is in the Air Force. Why do you want to join? And they were thinking I'll come back and, having done agriculture, look after the farm that we had in the village.
Okay.
She did not complain, but she was asking questions.
Right.
So otherwise, everybody was happy.
Nice. Sir, in army, I mean, obviously it comes with its own challenges, but there is this interesting aspect of postings, like transferable job it is. So before I ask that, were you married when you were?
No.
You were not.
I was too young to be married.
Okay. Then this might be fun. What was your favorite posting? Which posting did you enjoy the most? The most enriching one, which you found memories of which are still with you?
See,
pleasant.
Now this is slightly. I'll try to expand that question. If you ask me the same question after I tell you about my, service in the army, then in an educational institution, or in a small corporate world, or into politics, I'll be very frank in saying this. I have not compared that way, and my every outing I have enjoyed it equally.
Right.
It's not that I was very unhappy I left army and came back. It was not that I was very unhappy in ETA group. That's why I got into politics. Now I'm in active politics. Generally, if I ask you a question to all of you, you will say, if I say, do you want to join politics? You say, no politics, you will say, most of you. But I am not disappointed in politics also. It is, situation is like this, you are there and you give the best and the best comes to you. Right. If you ask me, my first posting was in Punjab. I mean, Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab border, that area. It is called as Dera Baba Nanak, anybody from North India will know.
Artillery regiment.
Yeah, yes. And then, okay, I'll start with my training. Training was in Chennai. Then Madras. And worst place for training. Oh. Actually, in terms of heat, in terms of the rains and, all kinds of things. And every day we used to wait for the passing out parade date. We knew when was the passing out parade. So we were waiting, counting days But after 35 years, we all had a get together in Shillong. One of my postmates was the Director General Assam Rifles as a Lieutenant General. So he had invited all of us. Once in 5 years, we all have a get together. So after nice get together in the evening party and all that, when you sober down, midnight, past midnight, we all sat down and started talking about what happened in our lives and what was the best part of your life, the way you ask questions. We all came to a conclusion. Almost every day we were in tears, the kind of training, and we were waiting for that passing out parade. Today, looking back, that was the best thing that happened to us in the last 35 years. So, posting in Punjab, Northeast Sikkim, have you heard of a place called, at least you all have heard about Doklam, no? Doklam.
Doklam.
So exactly the same place. And there was a picket at a much higher altitude called Gamuchin, like Siachen, right? A place called Gamuchin. Life was hell. Today I would like to go back and, expose myself to that again. And then coming back to Bikaner, Rajasthan, Bikaner, the deserts in summer months and doing exercise and losing your track because there is no landmark with the maps, getting lost in desert. Everything was wonderful experience. I told you, every situation you come across is a learning situation. So if you ask me, I don't have any preferences among the postings I've had. In every posting, it's not that only Bikaner, Rajasthan, and all those places. We did a lot of courses, different courses. You are continuously upgrading yourself. And Army is one place where you never stop learning.
Right.
In my short tenure of 7.5, 8 years, I've done 6 courses.
Right.
You can imagine
Yeah.
how much of focus is on training in Army.
Correct.
So Nasik, Devlali, then Maho, then Mountain Warfare School in Solan, in Jammu and Kashmir. A lot of exposure to different places, and then different places you go for different competitions. Like you start running 25 kilometers, it's called as a Khad race, at around 6,000, 7,000 feet height in a place called Kalimpong in Sikkim. All those things are wonderful exposure, as a young.
Wow.
So there is no preference as such, but every tenure, every outing, every situation I have thoroughly enjoyed. Same feeling I have now. I have no problem. When I had to take a flight and come back here, I was looking for a very positive interactive session. So I never felt, oh, I'm tired, it's already end of the day, so why I should go, I can do it some other day. Never thought of it.
That's a very positive look.
That's how I became an Army officer. You need to have a very positive approach.
Very positive approach. That's true, sir. I mean, but still, I feel that sometimes it is very difficult to sustain that positivity within, especially when you are in Army. And from what little I know, you had witnessed an incident where you lost a fellow comrade of yours in utter state of helplessness, losing his life. Sorry, but I'm asking this on a very personal note, but it would have been very difficult. Explain us how the event was and how did it turn out, and also what impact does it play on the psyche of a soldier when he witnesses one or more of these events?
Positivity is part of your personality. It can be cultivated, not that it cannot be cultivated. So that is one part. Secondly, we look for these qualities in officers, at least in the officers in Army. See, when I was posted in Gamuchin at 18,600 feet, you have basically minimum facilities. You have boulders, you pile them up and make a wall, put something on the top to make a roof and have kumbles. That is all the facility. And you live in a similar structure like your Jawans. And you are supposed to be there for at least 3 months. And there is a particular problem called high altitude sickness, which is called pulmonary edema. Between the lung and the heart, there is a thin layer called pleuron. And this pulmonary edema, water gets accumulated in that layer, and it puts tremendous amount of pressure on the heart. Heart cannot pump, and lungs cannot take in the oxygen, which is not there at all. As it is, you have difficulty and you cannot breathe. Only alternative is to take him down to the lower levels and provide him with oxygen. And we saw him dying in front of our eyes, and I had no oxygen supply at that picket. It was not even thought of. And walking up is about 8 hours work alone. No, you can't carry some person who is not well 8 kilometers. It is impossible. Generally, they send choppers, but weather had packed up and they could not land the chopper. So we saw him dying in front of us. We were one officer, young captain at 23, 24 years, and then 2 junior commissioned officers. We call them Subedars and Naib Subedars, and one of them was dying. And then 9 soldiers. Generally, when you take people to high altitude, it is a younger lot we take. In terms of health, they are much better. And I was only about 2.5, 3 years into service after training. And my Jawans were all 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years kind of soldiers. And we were all staying in a very small vicinity, 2, 3 bunkers. And we could not even send the dead body. See, there are 10 people, and there is no separate kitchen for cooking, and we have to do it ourselves. Of course, as an officer, I never did it, but they were cooking for us. We were staying in the same bunker. There was our colleague who was no more with us. Then I had to take care of those 9 other people. They had to be fed. Somebody had to cook. I think that is a situation where your true leadership comes out. To be frank, I was scared. I was staying in the same bunker with a dead body. And if I lose, I may be younger to a couple of them in age, but as a captain, they looked up to me for moral support, for taking decisions, for communicating with the higher ups and getting things done and all that. Looking back today, I feel yes, I did the right thing, and I properly led them and never allowed any one of them to feel little, odd and things like that. But I think that made me much stronger from within. Instead of feeling sad about somebody's death, I was looking at it today. Possibly, I am more convinced about it. Look at this poor soldier. My background was very, frugal village. Being a soldier and then getting into a junior commissioned officer's post, he must have come from a still poorer background. But what made him come to this place, and why has he laid down his life? What has motivated that soldier? And what are these young soldiers coming here and, from far off places? Why are they spending their time in such remote place? What has motivated them? What has inspired them? So I think that positivity, how you look at things. After all, death is certain, isn't it? Everybody dies. What is there to die for?
Right.
People die on the road, on accidents. Sheer irresponsibility. And this death. So can we all live for a greater cause in life? That should charge you, that should motivate you. Yes, when you lose a colleague, you feel bad about it. You feel sad about it. But that can it charge you positively? I think that is how I felt it, at least now, very strongly I feel about it. And looking back, such incidents make you much more stronger within, and they define the purpose of life. You have a much greater reason to live than getting into, as I said initially, from a selfish kind of a motivation. And these incidents, you must have been hearing about, a truck falling into the valley and Jawans getting killed. You must have heard about it.
Right.
No? This happens. When we do the night operation, you're supposed to cross the canal. Like in the western border, we have canals. And entire brigade jumps into the water. And after they cross, we do a kind of a stock taking. How many? Sometimes people don't come back. They get drowned. Exercise. Accidents do to take place. Desert, full of snakes. Snake bites. We hear about, people getting killed in operation. But these things happen. His sacrifice is as equally important as somebody dies in action. And as an adjutant of the unit, I've been handling such cases, talking to young widows, talking to parents, looking after them, consoling them. So it is a challenge, but it is also a challenging leadership quality that it's supposed to possess.
Very true, sir. I think the kind of strength that witnessing death from such close proximity brings, I think there is hardly anything else which can bring that kind of strength.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yes.
But okay, so to the other chapter of your life, which was about you after army, you joining politics. So I mean, there is obviously this question that I mean everyone in this
Is it?
in this had that you served for a very brief period of
Yes.
time, 8 years. Was this because you were from short service commission or was it a voluntary retirement?
Both the answers are correct. I am from Short Service Commission.
Uh-huh.
I volunteered out because of some family issues, like in the sense, even though we were 10 children
Uh-huh.
with some 40-45 acres of land here, uh, father had a very funny question running in his mind. If none of my children want to stay put and look after the farm, why should I have it here?
Hmm.
So he had already negotiated, and that 45-acre land was uh, to be sold for a purchaser at 7.5 lakh rupees,
Okay.
and he had taken 20,000 rupees advance. Then my elder brother was a chartered accountant, another brother a elder brother was a wing commander, second brother was a chartered accountant who was working in Gulf, and another brother was also in Gulf. Another younger brother had just finished his job and he had taken up a small job in Muscat.
Mhm.
I was a young captain, and then my other brother was in the second year, third year degree in college, and the youngest was doing his engineering.
Mhm.
And sisters were all married, so there was nobody at home. And the previous vacation had come down, he had discussed many things with me. He was little, I would say, negatively commenting, why only two of us should stay in the village now, we're all out, anyway, none of you are going to come back and things like that. So I took it as a challenge. I mentioned this, I think, be rooted so that you can take wings. So I thought my roots were in that village. So my decision to quit army and come back was purely on a family uh, commitment.
Mhm.
And then there was a challenge. I have seen 5, 6, 7, 8 years of army life training and all that. And I could foresee next 5 years, next 5 years, next 5 years. I said, why not go and try it out? Being an agriculture graduate from that rural background, why not do something in the village? So when I left army, straight away I did not take up any job. I came back and started doing something in the village. First of all, I started reshaping the farm
Okay.
because father had neglected. He thought he was going to sell it. I'm not complaining, but obviously. Then the energy in me did not allow me to, just restrict myself to the farming activity. I started a cooperative milk society. The first activity I did in the village, a cooperative milk society, part of KMF. Then I started a youth club
Okay.
in Mahila Mandal. These activities I started in the village. Then my temple, village temple was in dire straits, actually in a very bad shape. And we had these issues of people not allowed to enter temple and all that. In the first year itself, I said, nothing doing. Everybody has to come into the temple. Army guy has come back, he's tough and all that. So there was no physical protest as such, but there was some resistance. But I said, nothing doing. Everybody, only the priest and some important people who does the rituals and all that, they were allowed to eat inside. Rest all common feeding. Everything we started some, how many years? 89, 90.
Mhm.
Almost 35, 37 years ago.
Mhm.
And then one of my brother had some difficulty, he was working in Gulf, he had just started, he came back. He came back and he said, no, I'm not interested in going, I want to come back. Uh, then I saw him, spending 6 months in the village. He was not comfortable. Again, I spoke to my other brother and got him another job, sent him second time. But he came back and he was unhappy. He's now in the village actually.
Yeah.
So when he came back, I thought same property, two brothers staying together may not be the right thing. And I had started certain things I can remote control. So I took up this job in Nitya Group.
Mhm.
That's how it started. Nite, actually, initially I started my service with Nite with their industrial unit. In Baikampadi, they have a automobile component manufacturing unit. So I joined them as an EGM. Used to look after general administration, security, and those things. After 2, 3 months, I told the chairman, I'm not very comfortable here. Permit me to quit. I'm not comfortable. They said, no, no, no. I have some ideas for you. I'm going to US. Come back after 1 month, and then we'll talk. That is how I shifted to Nitya. Nitya, I was very, if there is one area I was not very comfortable, that was the industrial activity.
Okay.
But Nitya, when I joined there, if I can put it across to make you understand, I felt army was good, but oh by God, being with students, nothing like it. Why did I took so long to come and become part of an education institution?
Right.
So I'm still part of them. In fact, may not be as involved as I was those days because of our political activity. Even now, I'm involved. I go and sit in the office in Mangalore, the headquarters, once in a while. What is that? You asked me something about this, no?
Yeah. Sir, go on. There is.
So, see, Nitya Group was at that point of time in the growth curve, we say, no? They were peaking. So, we had an undergraduate college. It had to be taken up to postgraduate level. Then we had to start MCA. We had to start MBA. In the dental college, we had only undergraduate level. We had to do post graduation, and from minimum facility, we had to make it a beautiful campus, building construction, getting staff, getting students. We used to go around doing a campaign all around, and even used to go to Gulf to reach out to people from this area. Initially, it was difficult. Financially, it was not a very nice thing. Now that we have a name, admission is not a problem. We don't have to go campaigning. But those days, it was the case. Getting faculty was a major problem. That's how we got connected with the NIT Suratkal. And
So, in what role were you serving when you were
no,
doing all
I
this?
became General Manager Administration of Nitya Education Trust.
Achha,
Nitya Education Trust was managing. Now they have got 42 colleges with about 27,000 students
Right.
in campus, different 3 campuses. We got our Bangalore campus started, medical, dental college, no, engineering college, MCA, MBA, international school, and things like that. So this is a journey from 90 to 93 onwards till 2005 when I got into political role. So I was only involved in all these things.
Right.
In between, I was asked to contest the Senate election of Mangalore University,
Okay.
Pakka election. This part I didn't tell you. From childhood, from my initial days, I have been a RSS Swayamsevak.
Okay.
In the same school premises, evening there used to be Shakha.
Okay.
And my rented house was only about 500 meters from that place.
Okay.
So we used to finish that last period in the school games and then go for Shakha
Okay.
and attend Shakha and then go back home.
Right.
And my brother, everybody used to be part of that. So it was a kind of a family thing. So RSS Shakha motivated me listening to stories of so-called true patriots of our country. When I say true patriots, you understand. So that was always very inspirational. And when I came back to my village, I told you, no, various activities. I also started a Shakha, RSS Shakha.
Okay.
And in no time, there were at least 40-50 youth who were trained actually. We will call it as ITC and, Prathamik Shiksha, Sang Shiksha Varg, Prathamik Shiksha Varg and all that. So I could send a lot of people. And 1990s, there was a great movement,
Right.
Hindu revival movement, Ram Janmabhoomi movement and all that, Vishwa Hindu Parishad activities. Even there I got involved. Since our chairman was very noble and he did not stop me from getting involved in all these activities. So I had my footprints in Mangalore also. Became we call Shibradhikari of ITC, and, a lot of activities. And that is how I was pushed into Mangalore University Senate election, which I won. And here also I started getting involved in a lot of social activities, like Ramakrishna Mission. We have a music club which is called as Manikrishna Swami Academy. So I'm the chairman of that even today, president of that. That gave you a visibility. One, getting connected with the education institutions. And then all these activities put together in 2005, one vacancy fell vacant for the upper house.
Okay.
So some elders from the Parivar, that is the language we use, suggested that you must contest this election.
Right.
So politics was not in my thought at all. So I went to my chairman one day for something else. Then he said, "Oh, MLC, please come inside." I said, "Who is MLC?" I thought somebody is also at the back of my this thing, Then I looked back. He said, No. Somebody had come and talked to me. Election is happening in the month of June. So they wanted you to contest. I said, sir, I have no other source of income except the salary that I get from you. I don't get my pension from army because I'm a short service commission officer. And I'm not all that enthused about. He said, you take 15 days, you take 20 days, I don't care. I've already promised them you have to contest elections. You decide after 20 days, it doesn't make it different. That's what he said, exactly same words. That's how I got into. I had no money. Even today, I'm not a moneyed man. I live on my little remuneration I get from NITE and plus my pension as a former Legislative Council member. I don't have any business and I don't get anything with the property because it's all for my brother. All of us have come to a conclusion that it is for somebody who stays in the village. So that's how I got into election. First election, hands down, no problem. Second election, I won. Third, I lost, of course, for other reasons. So that's how I got into politics. First election term, BJP came to power in Karnataka. Initially 2020, and then we came as a complete this thing. That is when they made me the deputy chairman of the NRI forum for the connect to be established between people from Karnataka settled elsewhere in the world.
This was in 2010, right?
No, 2008 I became the deputy. 2008 we formed the government.
Right.
2008 October I was asked to start a particular commission called NRI Commission, of which I became a chairman.
Right.
Till 2011.
Okay.
Then 12 was my second election. Then second election I won and I became the whip of the opposition, the chief whip they call now, again with the cabinet rank.
Again into MLC, member of Legislative Council. I see.
That was a political initiative.
Right. Sir, so when this was, you have been part of the Legislative Council and served in various capacities. But you mentioned about NRI Forum. Currently also you are serving as convener of NRI cell in BJP?
No, actually now I have a different role to play.
Right.
I've been the chairman of the deputy chairman of the NRI forum with the cabinet rank. The chairman is the chief minister. That was for a period of 3 years. Then our government came down.
Right.
Then Congress became the ruling party. Somebody else was appointed. Obviously, it's a party-based. If you are in power, you do something.
You do.
This is the BJP has something called Overseas Friends of BJP. OAF BJP we call Overseas Friends of BJP. So I became the convener of that for the state.
Okay.
Overseas Friend of BJP, Karnataka chapter. I'm the convener. I used to be the convener. Then I became the chief spokesperson. I cannot have both
roles.
So till about 2020, I was the convener for the people for common understanding used to call it as NRI cell. Otherwise, Overseas Friends of BJP, and I was a convener of that.
Okay.
Presently, I am the state election officer for the conduct of internal elections of the party.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I had gone to Bangalore.
Oh, okay. We'll come to that also. But with this, in this entire period from 2008 to 2020, which you were speaking about, how do you see the attitude of Indian diaspora? Has it shifted? You have interacted with a lot of people, and I was reading that you attended Karnataka Rajyotsava on a foreign land, on a Gulf land.
Yeah.
And so, how has the scene of Indian diaspora changed over time?
Now, Indian diaspora in US, Indian diaspora in say Australia, Indian diaspora in Gulf, they all are different altogether.
Right.
The people who go to US are the people who want to settle down there. And they're all very qualified, technically competent and different kind of people altogether. Whereas large number, I would say 75 to 80% of people who are working in Gulf are from the lower strata. Expectation of people in the higher strata and expectation of people in the lower strata, and people who have no chance of settling down in Gulf. They can be working there for donkey's years. They will not be settling down there because those states don't give you anything.
Right.
Whereas you are stepping out of India, not to come back to India, permanently settle down in Canada or Europe or Australia, New Zealand or USA. Their connect and their requirement is entirely different from the problems faced by these people. So I'm not discounting on them. I was least bothered about those people.
I do get it.
And I was most seriously bothering about these people. That difficulty in terms of job, that difficulty in the working conditions in that place. There were exploitations happening. Somebody will take money and, there was a big racket. Go take them, promise them some other job, and they'll end up in house maintenance, toilet cleaning and all kinds of things. And passport is confiscated and kept, and they were almost like slaves. So even though when I say my so-and-so is in Gulf, I always think in terms of a lot of money. But the kind of conditions, and then people who are well off in such established countries like USA, Europe and all that, I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, they are not greatly enthused about doing something back here. Even throwing back money, they will say Indian rupee is depreciating, no point investing in India. So they will look at it only from that perspective. Whereas these poor people who have gone to Gulf, most of them will save and send every penny to this place. In fact, those days I was thinking in terms of developing a financial instrument where it assures them certain returns regularly, plus also gives them some kind of insurance in case of they losing a job. I was trying to negotiate with the Central Finance Ministry and design some kind of an instrument of financial stability for people who are in the lower strata of society. And similarly, we did not expect much from those people in better off in those part of the country, but we started something called Knowledge and Skill Bank.
Achha.
People who are in the US, who are in the research field, who are in the institutions, once in 2 years, once in 3 years, they come back. Don't pay us anything. But when you come back, share your rich experience in the field of research, in the field of education with our students. If you come here for 15 days, 4 lectures. But it was very difficult. And I think that famous saying in English, there is no free lunch, has got into their blood. And I have heard people telling us, so how much do you pay for a lecture? So we still have that option, and I try to do this more seriously. But I think it all stopped once I left the place. Then of course some kind of identity card for them, and creating a cell where some issues related to land, all those things to be addressed on priority, so that the Gulf guy can go back with a peace of mind. So some such activities we try to initiate.
Right. Sir, you mentioned that there are no free lunches. This is a very, very solidified, concretized modern economic principle.
Yeah.
But something which defies this principle is something which we are witnessing after 144 years, Mahakumbh in our country, right? So I was wondering, we had a conversation about Mahakumbh over the call, and I was thinking, like, how is it that there is a role that obviously politicians do play, the government of Uttar Pradesh plays in organizing and everything, but if you look at it from a very objective standpoint, it's almost like something gets built for that 50 days out of thin air and then goes into thin air, right? And this is unprecedented, something which you don't have a second of to show. So if you could share your thoughts on it, what do you have? How do you view this?
I'll take you back to.
Have you been ever a part of Kumbh?
No, I have not been. I have not been. In fact, I want to go this time because this job is not allowing me to go. But I will go definitely. Somehow I'll squeeze in some time.
Right.
All of us have been taught in our schools and colleges that India became a nation on 15th of August 1947.
Right.
That too, that nation state kind of a concept of Western, people. It appealed to a certain section of society, intellectual section of society. An ordinary citizen of India was never bothered about this. There was a connect for thousands of years, which was binding all of us as people belonging to so-called one nation, nation-state concept. The Rashtra, this word you will understand,
Right.
has a different connotation when compared to
Nation state.
India, nation and all that. Like, there was no invitation. Was there any invitation for all of us to congregate in Kumbh for those 45 days?
Certainly not. Not a
And
centralized.
this did not happen because some political leader took initiative or some Swamiji took initiative. Everybody knows the cycle of Kumbh happening in various places, and people come congregate. So I think, what is the soul of India, if you ask me? It is a spirituality. He may be an ordinary citizen, ordinary farmer, ordinary worker, or whatever it is. Deep within, inside, he has orientation towards so-called a spiritual world. If you see a small child in your home, taking a small stick and out of curiosity, hurting that beautiful colony of ants going in one particular discipline. He's curious. He will go and use the stick and try to disturb the ant. Immediately they will all go around. Again they'll start the queue. Right? You must have seen as a young child. What will the mother come and tell? Beta, disturb mat karo. If you hurt those ants, it is not punya, it is papa. And you'll have problem in the next janam. Now, for so-called intellectuals or modern day educationists, they call it as stupidity. They call it as क्या बोलते हैं, मौढ़्य बोलते हैं ना. I don't know what is the correct word in English. But look at it. It gave a meaning and a purpose for life. What is that famous Newton's theorem? Call it a theorem? Newton's principle. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It will be transformed into. So I talked about death. What happens when you die? Why body doesn't rot till you die? What is that which holds all our systems intact, which doesn't allow the microorganisms which are already inside now to act on our body? Some energy, isn't it? That energy goes out, let us assume. If it goes out, that means it is not dying. It is going out somewhere. So, like any other faith, if I call the Indian Sanatana Dharma as a faith, it is much beyond that. Since you call it as a faith, many other religions. If there's anybody with a different kind of a faith orientation, please, if I'm slightly digressing from your viewpoint. We all believe in God. Any faith, they believe in God. We believe in thousands of gods, and other faiths believe in one particular God. No complaints. But what is that they don't believe is Punarjanma, rebirth. Now this belief in God and Punarjanma has given a different orientation for all our outlook, whether you are educated, whether you are not educated, whether you are a villager, whether you are city born, whatever it is, it has given a different orientation. We feel there are good things and bad things. And we feel by aligning myself with good things, I have a different purpose for life. Spirituality motivates you, inspires you to look within. Why do you look within? To find answers for those eternal questions yourself. To unearth, to unleash the tremendous amount of capacities which is inbuilt in us. But unfortunately, this capacity, what we have inside us, today, because of the Western influence, which follows an idea which says God created everything in a span of 7 days for your well-being. You may have heard about this philosophy.
Yes.
Today, the modern world, be it education, be it social life, be it social values, be it governance, everything, is around this one principle. Whereas, as Sanatanis, our elders, you call them Rishimunis or you call them sages, you call them by any name, they had a much deeper meaning to life. You are not a supreme creation. You are an equal creation. Of course, Karma Siddhanta and all that is slightly more serious. Some other time we'll talk. So you are an equal creation. In every creation, like the atomic theory, there is some energy, isn't it? When we were taught about atom in our 9th or 10th standard by a BSc BA teacher, she or he said, any matter, if you go on dividing it or if you go on breaking it, ultimately you get a small piece which is not visible to the naked eye. But if you further divide it, what happens? It is called as atom, and if you divide atom,
Neutron, proton, electron.
And a lot of energy, isn't it?
Right.
Right. So that they had said. They called it as what? Atom. Atom, basically. Atom and Atma. Is there much difference? Right? Bhratru and brother. Matru and mother. There are thousands such similar words. Now, when I say this to you, do you see any difference between Matru and mother, Bhratru and brother, Atma and atom? They sound very similar. So, our elders had I think, in-depth knowledge of, when you say spirituality, when you say Vedas, I think they were a step ahead of the modern day science.